Hi students, welcome to Vijayata IAS Academy Current Affairs class. There is a news related to fundamental duties in today's newspaper. This comes under GS2 syllabus, Features of Indian Constitution. Here the news is saying that the Supreme Court on Monday asked the union and state governments to respond to a petition to enforce the fundamental duties of citizens, including patriotism and unity of the nation, through comprehensive, well-defined laws. So here, Supreme Court asked union governments and state governments to respond to a petition. What is this petition? This petition was saying, or it was filed in the Supreme Court. It is asking or requesting the court, saying that the need to enforce fundamental duties arises from a new illegal trend of protest by protesters in the garb of freedom of speech and expression by way of blocking of road and rail routes in order to compel the government to meet their demands. So in this context, this one, a case was filed in Supreme Court, and in this petition, Supreme Court asked union and state governments to respond against this petition. So here we have to see what are the fundamental duties and why this petition is filed. Fundamental duties are non-justiciable nature. This is very important for prelims point of view, whether it is justiciable or non-justiciable. Justiciable means in case of fundamental rights, they are justiciable in nature. That means if fundamental rights are violated, any citizen can approach the judiciary and they get their grievance addressed. So that means the fundamental rights are imposed or enforced by the judiciary. Whereas in case of fundamental duties, if any citizen violates fundamental duty, courts cannot enforce fundamental duties on citizen of India. So that's why it is non-justiciable in nature. There are 11 duties in Article 51A of Part 4A. This is important, Article 51A. However, in the original Indian Constitution, it was not there. It was created after the amendment of 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976. It was inspired from the Constitution of USSR, erstwhile USSR. So from that it was inspired and fundamental duties are added to the Indian Constitution. And it was also added based on the recommendations of Swaran Singh Committee. So here, if with respect to prelims point of view, non-justiciable in nature, Article 51A and Constitution of USSR, and added by 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act on the basis of recommendation of Swaran Singh Committee. Originally 10 in number, one more duty was added through 86th Constitutional Amendment Act in 2002. So totally there are 11 duties. So the purpose of this particular article is to remind citizens about both rights also at the same time duties as well. So it is talking about fundamental duties as it is not justiciable in nature. Now this petition was filed in the court that make fundamental duties also justiciable in nature. So in that context, Supreme Court in that petition, it asked the union and state governments to respond to this petition. So here fundamental duties are, here if you see 1976, it was added during emergency period. So criticism of fundamental duties is the time during which part in our history it was added. Now fundamental duties, now in the growing context or growing tendencies of growing violence or blocking of roads, rail routes, in order to express the grievance, people are adopting violent means, and this is creating or this is damaging the public property. And fundamental duty, one of the fundamental duties is to protect the public property and also respect the constitutionalism or respect the ideals of Indian Constitution and respect the unity, integrity and ideals of Indian Constitution. So some sections of society, they feel offended that if there is any such violent activities, it is causing the damage to public property and thereby citizens are not following the fundamental duties. So that is why Supreme Court was asked to make these justiciable in nature. So Supreme Court given notices to or asked union and state governments to respond to this petition. So here you have to see prelims point of view, non-justiciable, article number, inspired from which constitution and which constitutional amendment act, and Swaran Singh committee, and total 11 in number. So this is about fundamental duties in polity. Thank you.